Welcome to the Raleigh Municipal Light Board of Commissioners meeting of February 12th, 2014. Just a reminder that this meeting is being audio and video recorded digitally. And our first agenda item for tonight is Citizens Query, which goes from 7 to 7:10 p.m. Not having anybody in the room with us tonight to ask a question, we will continue on to the next agenda item. And it's review and accept minutes from previous meetings. Okay. And we have the meetings from the January 8th, 2014 Commissioners meeting. Has everybody had a chance to take a look at them?
Yes.
And no issues,
Didn't see anything.
anything that needs to be changed or corrected? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
A motion?
I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Sorry.
Nope, that's okay. Dan.
Thank you.
All right, item number 3 on the agenda is cost of service rate study RFP review. And Dan, I'll turn it over to you for that.
I trust everybody's had a chance to review the RFPs that I had left for you in the mailbox.
Yes.
If not, we can quickly go over it, but it's a pretty basic RFP for a cost of service study. We've talked about it in commissioners' meetings before. When I reviewed the RFPs, they were all good RFPs, good responses to the RFP. One of them stood out basically on price alone. As you can see, it was $14,900 for that one RFP, and it was complete.
Yes, yeah.
I have talked to a couple of the managers about that particular vendor, and nothing but good reviews. So I would recommend we go with that, and I don't know if you want to have a further discussion, or do you want to just...
Well, it's up to the board. I mean, if you want to discuss it, if you had a chance to read them. I mean, that one jumped out at me also. And there were some very good engineers in there that submitted these RFPs.
Mhm.
I mean, I had known some of these people when I was in doing the business, and actually some of them work for us. But that one particular one jumped out at me, and it happens to be this one.
That one there. He's
Yeah.
done work for Raleigh before as well. I think when you were manager, I think he's done work for Raleigh.
Yeah. And we had no problems with them at all at that point. So, yeah, I was kind of surprised at some of these others. They were a little bit on the high side.
Yes, I thought so as well.
Yeah, so,
I mean, they were all good RFPs, good responses. They were very complete. Nobody left anything out.
right.
So
No, they
it's,
seemed to meet the RFP right down to the line. There weren't any discrepancies or anything like that in it, so.
Mhm.
Okay, any other comments?
No. Unacceptable.
Ken?
No, all set? No?
Okay. So do you want to vote to accept one of these tonight, or?
You can if you want to, or I can just award the RFP. I mean, it doesn't really, whatever you want to feel comfortable doing.
Well, if you need a vote, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too.
Okay. All right.
We can give you a vote.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
So, I'm assuming we're going to, the one with the lowest bid is B.H. Lemaster, Inc., from Upton, Massachusetts. And if you checked it out, you've got a pretty good resume here.
Mhm.
Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority he's worked for, and Washington Metropolitan Transit Authority in Washington, D.C. he's done work for. City of Manchester, New Hampshire, Caribou, Maine,
Mhm.
Taunton Municipal Light, which is the biggest light plant in Massachusetts, municipal plant in Massachusetts. Vermont Public Service Corporation. So, I mean, it's, okay, if there's no other discussion, I guess I sold it enough. We'll
Give you a motion?
give you a motion, and in a second, we'll vote on it.
Okay.
So I have a motion.
We'll have a motion to accept, that's what we're accepting?
Yep.
Yeah, accepting that.
Okay, you made the motion, Bob?
Oh, I can second if you want to make the motion. Ken, you want to make the motion?
Go
I'll
ahead.
second then.
No, go ahead, you,
Well, I'll fight here at the table.
I'm just
Wait a minute, I got
trying
a coin here. I'll flip.
how to word it together here.
Ken made the motion, I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
We will award the contract to
Yeah.
BH LeMasters, Inc.
Makes it easier for you.
Good choice.
Yep.
So, okay, moving on to item number 4. Manager's contract renewal.
As my contract states, 6 months prior to the date of my contract renewal, the board has the option to either give me notice, 6 months notice of renewal or not renewal of my contract, so I'll leave the discussion up to the board whether they want to do that or not.
Okay, I know it's gonna be a hard discussion. Any comments?
I think Dan has done a great job so far.
I have to agree. I really do. Yeah, he's done excellent.
He's been, every time I've gone to ask a question, he has me spec with the answer on it, so that's a real good sign.
Yep.
Yeah, done a good job so far, yeah. Yeah, I think he's done well. I think we should go with it.
Okay, I have to agree.
Thank you.
You've worked out very well for us, Dan, and
Yeah.
we certainly appreciate all that you do for us.
Thank you.
We really do.
I was very impressed with it.
Even some of the IRA customers think you're a great guy.
We have IRA customers?
If you dig hard
I've
enough,
only
you
talked
always
to
find
one so far, so he
We
wasn't
put a lot
IRA.
of work into it, you know, which is something we haven't really seen for a while.
It takes a lot of work.
It does, I can imagine,
It
yeah.
does.
Yep.
Well, Dan, I was very impressed when you had the budget, everything else all lined up. You have it online now, so the public can see it. Very impressed with that. It's good. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion, one way or the other, either to renew or,
I'll make a motion to renew.
okay.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded
Seconded.
to renew the contract, the manager's contract for the ensuing year. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Item number 5, March meeting date.
I want to put this on the agenda just to kind of talk about, March is the APPA legislative rally, which we talked about at the last meeting. I will be in Washington for
Those 3 days.
those 3 days, so
Okay.
we're going to have to move the March meeting. And I'm just have a discussion on if you want to move it earlier, later. It's up to the board as far as where you want to put the meeting in March.
Why don't we do the 19th?
19th.
The week
Okay.
before is on Wednesday, so I think it's better, we'll throw it out a week.
Throw it out a week? Sure, and that's fine with me, either way.
Okay, I'll tentatively have it for March 19th, and if anybody has any issues with that date, just let me know.
And
before I
that's
post
after
it.
your trip?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
the week after.
Yeah, they
That might
don't
be
know what's
better.
going on there.
And that'll work
Let
out
me-
great, you'll
Yeah.
be able to give us some feedback.
Yeah, let me just,
Give us some
Make
idea
sure
of
I'll
what
be
went on. You know? Yeah.
before I, I know March is gonna be a busy month.
Mm.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the meeting for March will be on the 19th at this point. Item number 6, pilot payment to the town of Raleigh for fiscal year 15.
As is the practice of the light plant in years past, we make an in lieu of tax payment to the town in the amount of whatever the street lighting bill is going to be for that year. And we have not closed the books for 2013 as of yet, but I know the actual warrant date for town meeting is before our next meeting. So what I put together is a draft of the pilot payment with an amount on it, with the estimated closing balance of the accounts that we use to calculate the actual pilot payment. If anything, if the expenses decrease, that amount would decrease. So it's really up to the board if you want to accept that number, or if you want to accept the language with the amount to be determined once the books are closed, if you want to
Okay.
do it that way.
What I would, do you have an idea when the books might close?
I would say within a week.
Within a week, okay. I think we could probably drag it out that extra week if we had to.
Okay.
I know there's a date to have the warrants in,
Mm-hmm.
to have the information in, but I used to have the same issue that you have, getting the accounts closed with the accountant.
Right.
And I used to kind of come in and just kind of say, you know, could I please have a little bit more time? And they would generally give it to me. So
Okay.
it's not the drop dead date, but it's close.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's up to you guys if you want to use the estimated, or we could use the actual when it comes in.
I think we can go in a few more days, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Once the books are closed, I'll definitely get that number
Mhm.
to you, at least so you can look at it, so it's,
Yeah.
the language is the same every year, so it's just the amount that changes.
Mm.
Okay. So you want to bring that back to us at the next meeting then?
I can, yeah, on the 19th.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll email Debbie and let her know that we're gonna be a little bit late because of the
Yeah.
way the books are.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
And I can speak to her too and just, you know, she understands that I used to do it all the time. So, okay. So that looks very good. I didn't know if you saw that, Bob, just to familiarize yourself with it.
And just to let you know, the pilot payment has been decreasing. One reason is the light department doesn't have any debt anymore, and that was part of the calculation for the street lighting. The other factor is all the LED lighting we've been hanging.
Yeah.
When we do the calculation, it's based on not only the debt and the expenses that the light department has, but it's also based on the kilowatt hour usage of all the town municipal lights in town. As we hang LED lights, that kilowatt hour number keeps declining.
Right.
We keep the same amount of lights, but the kilowatt hours keep declining. So you're going to see this decrease, gradually come down. I mean, there's a lot of efficiencies with LED lighting, and one of those is the kilowatt hours. So just so that when it comes time, if anybody says anything to the commission, that this is the reason why the numbers have been decreasing.
And it's basically, it's what they call a state formula, Bob. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, probably not, but it takes several factors. Depreciation is one of them, the debt is another one, and you take all of those figures and put them together, and you come up with a cost per kilowatt hour.
Okay.
And it typically lands somewhere close to our actual cost for the electricity. It's a little bit above it. And what was I going to say? Waiting for the fire alarm to go off. And that's how they figure
Okay.
the total cost. It's that cost per kilowatt hour times the number of kilowatts that the lighting uses. We keep track of those based on the lamp sizes.
I've noticed that I've been changing out the lights in my house to CFLs and LEDs, and I'm noticing it's coming down.
a little bit.
Mhm.
Good, good.
It's going to take about, I don't know how long for the payoff, but
I would use the LEDs rather than the CFLs.
I know, yeah.
But
There's a hazard with the
they're a little bit
CFLs,
more
right?
money, but I think they're a better bulb.
Yeah, and they're starting to creep down a little bit in cost.
Slowly, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, and.
The lighting is much better with them, I know that.
Plus it's instant on with the LEDs rather than the CFLs taking a minute to warm
And
up.
they get kind of purpley when they first start, the CFLs.
Mhm.
And then finally, when they warm up, they get to the cool light, but it takes a while.
Mhm.
So,
Even though it's, the flashlight LEDs are just amazing.
oh, yeah,
They'll last forever.
yeah. Yeah. So, very good. And it does have its downside, too. Because the nighttime is when we like to keep level the load out.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
The load factor kind of changes a little bit. So, but I guess if you gotta pick one or the other, it's probably best to pick the lower cost.
Yeah, it is better to pick the lower cost, yeah.
But, oh well, you can't win them all. But it's the technology, and it's coming. There's no question about
Yeah.
that.
And we are aggressively pursuing the change-out program. We're actually going to the, Mark Bixby, the superintendent, is going to the police chief to find, areas of town that may need additional lighting, whether it be intersections or dark areas in town. If there's been break-ins or if there's been trouble spots in town, and looking at that and maybe requesting some additional lighting of the selectmen, in the near future.
That'd be good.
Yeah, and that will bring this number up a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but a little bit, not a whole lot.
But it serves the community,
Hmm.
and that's what it's all about.
Right.
Yeah, it really is. That's the beauty of a municipal department. It really is. Okay, we got the annual town meeting warrant article. Okay,
This is the annual town meeting warrant article that appears on the town warrant every year.
Yep.
The article does not change. It's just
it's actually, this particular article is prescribed by the state.
mhm.
The Department of Public Utilities put this in years ago. Only because there was some question about whether the way the legislation was written originally, whether the department had a right to spend its own money. So to get around that question, they put this article in. I don't know if you're familiar with the article.
Oh,
It just gives the manager permission to use any surplus funds that are left over at the end of the year.
right.
And we try to put it into a construction account.
I've read it many times, but
Well, it does have a
Yeah.
history, which is kind of interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, so do you want me to read it?
sure.
Okay, it's the 2014 annual town meeting warrant article, and I've read this many times at town meeting. Move the town vote to appropriate the income from the sales of electricity to private consumers and for electricity supplied to municipal buildings, municipal street lighting, or for municipal power from sales of appliances and jobbing during the current fiscal year to the municipal light plant, to hold to be expended by the general manager of the municipal lighting plant under the direction and control of the Municipal Light Board for the expense of the plant for said fiscal year as defined in Section 57, Chapter 164 of the general laws, upon condition that, if said income shall exceed said expense for said fiscal year, such excess shall be transferred to the construction fund of said plant and appropriated and used for such additions thereto as may be authorized by the Municipal Light Board. So I'll entertain a motion
That motion?
to put that onto the town meeting warrant. Second, Ken?
Oh, yeah, yeah, second.
Okay,
yeah.
motion made and seconded. All
Yep.
those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So we would just sign that for you, Dan, so you
If
can...
you're lucky,
Yes,
Bob, you get to
please.
read it again at town meeting.
Actually, I think it goes into the general, there's a block
Yeah.
of them that we accept as a whole, so. Okay. That is all that we have on the agenda tonight. Dan, with the upcoming storm, you think you might want to just kind of give us a little overview of what people maybe should be looking for, and if the power goes out, what they should do, and that we have hopefully a captive audience here?
Well, mostly, depending on what, it's hard to tell about the weather. You never know if the weathermen are going to be correct or not.
Exactly.
So it's hard to determine what the public should do. But if it is as bad as they say it's going to be, basically stay home. Heed the officials' warning about staying in your home, staying away from power lines that may be on the ground. If you fear about losing the power, fill your bathtub with water. That will give you some water for flushing the toilet. Don't drink it.
Yeah.
Store water in your house. They say have at least a gallon of water per person per day to have in your home for drinking water, in case you're going to be home, for a few days without power. Turn the heat up a little bit so that your house will stay warmer longer. Things like that to stay aware. If you have any questions, call the light department, call the fire chief or the council on aging. They all have information as far as what you need to do in the case of emergency, in case of a storm.
Yeah, and particularly if it's going to be a bad storm, the Council on Aging, Fire, and Police will also have information on any shelters that may be opening up and where they would be and how to get there. So,
I anticipate having a Raleigh Emergency Management meeting tomorrow morning. I assume the fire chief's going to call in for tomorrow morning, so we'll participate. We'll have more information then. And if the public wants to call, please do, and we can discuss any issues that they may have over the phone.
yeah. And particularly the power line or any line that's down.
Mhm.
As long as it's a wire coming off a pole, stay clear of it, please. We don't need any tragedies like that.
No.
We really don't.
Let the experts go near them.
Right.
Yes. And if you see it down, call the
Call the
communication
light
center
department.
and let us know. We'll get to it as soon as possible.
They're saying the winds will pick up probably around noontime tomorrow and through to tomorrow night. But then again, they're still talking about the rain-snow line. So
Yeah, they're not even sure of it at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, it's going
I
to be...
saw one weather report tonight just before I came in, and it showed we were going all rain. So it would be nice, but
It would be nice, yes.
but the ground is still frozen, so
Yeah.
there's no runoff.
Wow. Okay, I think that's it.
Like a motion to adjourn?
I will accept the motion to adjourn.
You don't have that motion?
Did you make a motion to adjourn?
Yep.
I asked
You
the
got
chairman if
something
you
on
wanted
your
one
I
mind?
made
first.
the motion. Or do I second it?
You
Did you already
second
make
Go
it?
ahead. Go ahead. I'll take the motion this time, Ken. You second it.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn?
Yeah.
We all agree on that? Okay.
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.